episode 539.
539.
Sarah was feeling great in the last few episodes. How are you today?
I mean, still super awesome and wonderful.
Riding the high.
Am I high? No.
No, riding the high.
Oh, riding the high. I was like, no, in fact, the opposite. I haven't smoked weed in so long. It's probably been like 2 weeks.
When does the urge strike you where you're like, maybe, oh, no, I won't?
Just right before I go to bed.
Yeah.
And I think it's more habitual. Like, you know, I'm like, oh, that's what I should do right before I go to bed. But now I'm like, no. And to be honest, it doesn't really as much. Like, and you know what came back? Dreams.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So when you smoke before bed, you don't tend to dream or remember them?
I don't know whether it's I probably don't remember them, or my mind can't get into that relaxed, or not relaxed, but like that REM cycle or whatever you dream in. I think it has to get like unstoned before it gets into that sleep state, or those different stages of sleep is what I've heard. I don't know. I was talking to a friend the other day, and she was like, you know, sometimes I listen to your podcast and you say things, and I'm just like, nope, that's not right. And so,
why?
I don't know. She's a vet, like works at a vet office and a vet tech. And shout out to Bree, you know who you are. Well, of course, now I just said her name, but still, you know. So she was like, yeah, that's not right. So I think it's like animal-related stuff, probably.
And medical. And
which is right. You should not take our advice for any of that. But do take my advice if you're looking to maybe, like, I don't know, dream more and cut back on the weed.
Well, are you a person who gets nightmares?
Oh, so bad.
Do you?
Oh, my God. But it's very situational. Like, I can control them. So the only time I get nightmares, really, there are 2 times I get nightmares. I get one kind of nightmare, which feels very anxiety-driven nightmare, when there's something big in my life that I'm not communicating. Like when I wanted to get divorced and wasn't saying, like, speaking my truth, I would like have nightmares about that. And, you know, when I needed to set better boundaries in my family, I would have nightmares about that. It really is just like this, I don't know, maybe like my anxiety or my whatever that is playing out in my dreams as well. And, you know, like the subconscious, like wanting to solve a problem. And so it feels very much like it's like a running in place kind of dream, but like scary, you know, like,
yeah, because you are a truth teller.
Yes, I am a truth teller. I was just talking to somebody about this. It's like to a fault, you know?
Yes.
It really is a problem. I have to be like, okay, you're going to hear the truth. And maybe sometimes I like overshare and like, you know, I was looking at this funny meme. It was like, you know, when you first meet a Pisces and it's somebody putting like olive oil on a salad, but the olive oil bottle is like the size of him. And it's like when it's like opening up our heart when we first meet somebody. And it's like, yeah, if you were to tip that over, it would spill everywhere. And that's totally like what it is like just like a ocean of like open heart.
Our theme of like poop talk. Sarah was saying yesterday that she has this theory that people who are very open and share a lot about themselves, they have a better regulated system,
or struggle with
or the shits.
Diarrhea.
And then people who are closed off, you know, keep things in, and then they have trouble.
Don't talk to people
with that.
They have
and I really think this must be true.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my theory as much as it is Freud's theory, so I really don't want to like take credit for, you know, got to add that to my works cited page. But
we've talked about this before. But I had a friend who said that people who hold in farts hold in secrets.
That's such a funny way to put it.
I mean, it's probably true, right?
I don't hold in, well, unless it's like, of course, confidentiality, in which case I love holding in secrets. But I am a holder in of the toots, and I would say that I am an oversharer. But that's really just because I, like, you know, am polite. Are people holding them in when they're by themselves?
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Because what would
that
the
sounds
payoff
like another
be?
poll. I'm going to write that one down. Do you hold in farts when you are alone? Okay.
Because why would anyone, like, there's no payoff for that.
Maybe you don't like the smell. I don't like poop particles. If you can smell it, that means there's poop particles in the air.
That is not what it means.
I don't know. I just made that up. See, another thing. So, like I just say, and then people are like, "That's not true." But is it though? Because what are those smells?
I mean,
isn't it technically like molecules of air we're smelling, and aren't those molecules coming from something? And isn't that something a fart? So aren't you smelling poo particles?
No, I don't think necessarily, because I think if the poo is in your body and then you let out air that was in your body, I don't think there's necessarily actual poo in it as much as just the odor of where it was before.
This is the philosophical question. Is the odor of the poo,
right, the essence
of are they the same? Are they one and the same? Mm-hmm. Who knows?
I would like to believe I'm right, because I don't want to think that there are just poo particles everywhere.
Oh, so gross. Just hanging in the air. It's nasty.
All right, let's get to it. Let's learn some stuff.
Let's learn, shall we?
I've seen a couple great short films. Maybe I'll tell you about one.
Nice. Tell me.
There was a great one on New York Times. I actually don't remember the name, but it was this guy who is a filmmaker, and he has one eye that looks in one direction and an eye that looks in the other, but it's not a lazy eye. He was clear about that. It's some other name. And he wanted to simulate what it's like for him to navigate the world and how he sees the world. So he was interviewing his family members and doing little experiments with like a screen and a box on the screen, and like, is the dot inside the box? And he had to manipulate it so that they couldn't see either the box at one point or the dot, because that's how it is for him. He can only see like one thing at a time. And I just was thinking about a couple things. First of all, how magical our eyes are.
They're they're so magical.
Right? And how like there's all this work in your brain. It's really your brain, translating the information that your eyes get, and how it fills in the gaps of, there's blind spots in everybody's eyeballs where no information is going, and your mind fills it in.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. And he doesn't have the same system, and so he sees things differently.
Oh.
And then,
that's
you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, that makes sense. Because if you can't, it's like two images coming together to form one. You know? And then if you can't make those come together, then your brain can't fill in the blanks maybe with the input. Wow. So is he less like tricked by optical illusions?
Yeah, he has to do other things. Like if he were to put two pencils in front of him horizontally and try to match the erasers to each other, he would use, like, we couldn't do it. We would fail probably. But he's probably better at it because he can use like shadows. That's how he's trained himself to like know where things actually are. In a way, it's like we think of our sight as the correct version of reality. But who is to say that?
Right.
Maybe he sees things equally real. You know what I mean? Like, what is real, Sarah?
What is real?
What is real?
Do we even know? What a good question.
It's very philosophical. But he said, and I liked this takeaway, he doesn't have a problem with the way he sees. He has a problem with the way he is seen.
Oh.
Because he was saying to his family, am I uglier because of my eyes? Are my eyes weird? He was asking them questions you usually don't ask, you know?
Yeah.
But I also liked, he calls them whale eyes because we love looking at whales and we are unbothered by only seeing one of their eyes at a time. And he wants that for himself as well.
Yeah.
Like, stop being bothered by it.
Does he answer the what eye do I look into question?
Yeah, he says, like, just look into the one that's looking at you.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's easy.
But that's a good question that you asked, and one that I wouldn't have thought of, and I'm glad he answered it.
Yeah. I just think it's so important to listen and learn and be curious about experiences of everyone because, you know, as we've learned in so many wonderful ways on this show, the reality that you experience is not the reality for everybody else. And the only way to learn about the reality of others is to be curious and ask questions, because most people don't even know to share that information because it's real to them, so it doesn't feel like...
People get real awkward, but you shouldn't be.
No.
You know, just like be open-minded and open-hearted, and I think you'll solve a lot of those problems.
And I think even in what you're... Yeah, I love that, Suze. And even
One
when
thing
you're...
I am open about, Sarah...
Yes, please, tell me.
is, you know, taking medicine without all the garbage in it.
Oh. I mean, it took long enough for this to... I feel like, duh. I'm so glad this is here. As somebody who's like living a very healthy, clean...
Yes, you are.
Preservative-free, like toxic-free, get my body to the point where it's like the temple that you want to worship at. This is the kind of medicine I want to be taking. None of that crap.
Yeah. Sarah's right, though. It does feel like, thank God we're finally doing this, because Genexa, that's the name of the company, they wanted to make normal medications, you know, pain reliever, allergy medicine, whatever, but without all that extra stuff like preservatives or dyes and fillers that kind of like, it feels like... why are we putting those in medicine to begin with? And so rather than throw the baby out with the bathwater, they just got new bathwater. And I actually just bought from them the equivalent, like motion sickness medicine.
Yeah.
Because my son wants to get on a boat and do fishing. And I feel like he doesn't know what that might be like.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
I wanted to come prepared as a mom.
Yeah,
you got to be
smart.
prepared. But I just love that it feels better. There's not all that preservative-y, gross dye stuff in there. And you can start cleaning out your medicine cabinet today. Go to Genexa.com/braincandy for 20% off your first purchase. That's Genexa.com/braincandy for 20% off your first purchase. Genexa.com/braincandy. I'm going to add that to our website. We have a list of our partners and the codes, so you guys can always access them there if you forget. But anyway, yeah, I liked that he was open about his different type of eyes, and that he was kind of challenging people in his life to say things that they might not think are polite. And I'm learning that I am ableist, like accidentally ableist, as I think a lot of people are.
For sure. I know I am too. I think everybody is until they become experienced or educated. It's hard because everybody's different, and probably everybody has something that advantages them or disadvantages them or just makes things different for them. And if you're not aware and paying attention, you could do something really rude and hurtful. So I'm trying to be more aware of that. What is it that you made? What is it that made you think that you were ableist in that way?
Well, July, I think, was Disability Awareness Month. And I started seeing things, and then, you know, it just plants the seed where you're like, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I don't consider people in that way. I don't worry about, is this accessible, or would this be good for someone who doesn't have the same vision as I do, or whatever. Yeah. And I realized, like, how many years I went in my life without ever even thinking about that. That's not great.
Right. Well, better late than never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
look at you,
you know,
Suze.
like, I do find sometimes, what was I watching recently? It was some film. I don't know. And it was, you know, saying how the world is built for the default human. The white, able-bodied, straight man.
Yeah. Was it Crip Camp?
I did see Crip Camp, but it was
so
something
good.
Recently. I can't remember. And I just thought, wonder what the solution really is, though, because how do you build a world for everyone? I don't know.
That is such a deep question.
I don't know the answer. I just think a lot of times people, you know, want awareness, but then once you're aware, you're like, okay, now what?
I think you build a world for, that becomes... I mean, this is definitely the first thing that comes to my mind is having people who need the world to be built in a different way, or I don't want to say a different way. That's not even fair either. People who would not fit the standard model of how somebody would just build something should be chosen to be involved in those projects, and that representation is so important. And having how about consult somebody who's in a wheelchair before designing whatever building and making it wheelchair accessible. I mean, maybe they do, but let's take it to the next level. I don't know.
I've even had people write, I don't think about Brain Candy, but about other shows on my network, asking for transcripts for people who are hearing impaired or the deaf community. And that is a lovely idea, and they should be included.
Yeah.
But then there's money, and it's not an easy thing to find or get. And so then you think, do I invest in that? Is it worth it? And then it's an ethical question matched with a business question. Wow. And that's pretty much what's ruined everything.
Yep, for sure.
in the world.
Wow.
But I'm just giving you one example,
Mm-hmm.
But it's just food for thought. And if you're more aware of it, you probably make fewer mistakes with people. But I would recommend that. I'll have to send Delia that link to put in the newsletter, because that was a really cool... It was only 10 minutes or something, and it was just I like this guy.
Yeah.
Makes you think of the world in a new way.
I love that. Anything that does that. It's what we want the show to be.
We got good news from Ireland, which is...
I love good news.
This is bonkers. I did not know this, but people in Ireland used a word for generations as this... for people of color, they used this word that I can't pronounce because I'm not Irish. It was the same word that they used for the devil.
Oh! What's good about that?
No, that was bad.
Okay.
They've adjusted.
This is awful.
So for a while, they also used this odd alternative phrase that meant blue person.
That's so
super weird.
So stupid.
I have no idea why.
Yeah.
To indicate people that were not white. And then now they have finally landed on person of color, and it's something like Dune de Death. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but that's the phrase. And I'm like, holy crap. For generations, they were referring to the devil with the same word that they were using to describe any black person.
Really fucked up.
And then they tried blue person. I just can't imagine how that.
Yeah, why would you go to that? I know what's better. Who's in charge of that decision? I'm just
glad things are coming along. And language is so important. Having the words to refer to people in a way that is not hurtful is, pretty important.
Yes.
So
that's
at least
crazy. Is it? What do you think? Why do you think it took so long?
Well, because there's so few people there that were people of color. Even now, it's only 2%.
Wow.
But I think they're getting more and more people. They said that are black, Latinx, and there was one other group. Maybe Middle Eastern folks. I'm not sure. But they are getting more, and it became more obvious and awkward. And thank God they were hey, let's add some new phrases
excuse
here.
me. I wonder if you were to pick up Google Translate, or one of those translate things, and they said that word, what it would come up as in...
Well, they say that the devil one had to be capitalized for it to be the devil. So maybe if it were lowercase, it would say
so fucked up.
Yeah. So crazy. Okay.
It's
moving
just
on.
and here we are sitting on our freaking high horses, being not us, but maybe other people. Our horses are regular height. And they're look at how evolved we are. Look at what we know now. We don't know shit. And there's going to be so much in the next, forever that we are we were totally wrong about that. And we have been doing that wrong. We have this idea that I don't know. We've got it figured out.
Yeah.
Oh yes, now we get it. No, you don't. You only get this level of it. There's more levels. You just don't. You just can't see them yet. Trust me.
We have figured out one thing, and that is how to make our eyelashes look incredible.
Oh, Yeah, that.
Glamnetic, thank you.
Oh, speaking of which, I have some to give away. So we're going to do a little contest, and it's going to be super exciting.
That's amazing. Okay, this is even better now. But whether you're the winner or not, you should try these because as a person who loves fake eyelashes and used the toxic glue for years and years, I am so delighted to find a magnetic lash that actually works. Because for years, people have been trying to get me to do magnetic lashes. And I was like, those things are dumb.
Right.
They never work. They look ridiculous. These are awesome. They take under a minute to apply. No glue, no struggle. You can use them up to 60 times. So they're better for the environment and wallet friendly. And they have all different like styles and fits, and you can do natural ones or just like full glam. Like I always go like drag queen and then take it down a notch. That's my
one step down from full drag queen.
Yeah, personally, you know, everyone to each their own.
Yeah.
But you can go on there, take the lash quiz, and then they tell you what style might suit you best. 100% money back guarantee, so there's no risk. I just love it. Find out for yourself why Glamnetic lashes are Instagram's favorite beauty hack. Go to glamnetic.com/braincandy and enter our promo code braincandy for 30% off your order. The code is only available for our listeners. That's glamnetic.com/braincandy. Enter our promo code braincandy at checkout for 30% off. I promise you guys these lashes literally
30%? That's so good.
Yes, I agree.
You know I love anything over 20.
You do.
I go crazy for that.
Psyched.
Yeah, I'm like, what? 30?
Okay. Okay, so last year, I think it was, we talked about how you maybe found a few gray hairs. True or false?
Oh, a few is now, we're like, there's a whole place. We have so many.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's not going to be long until I'm like salt and pepper over here.
Is it like in one spot or just spread out?
Spread out, but mostly on my temples, like the side of my head. It would be really cool if I could get some like witchy, like silver streaks just down the side. Like I could definitely be rocking that.
Oh my God.
And I've decided to grow my hair out now because I'm like just want like wild, crazy, long, you know, I don't know.
I'm kind of like excited and not sure what took you so long.
What to like rock?
Yeah, because you're always wanting a trim. You're always like, oh, I need a trim, and I'm like, why? Let that mane grow, baby.
I just let it grow and just be like, yeah, I got like a good cut now. I'm just gonna let that thing just grow out.
Is it because like it's a pain when it gets long, or what?
Does it what?
Like, is it a pain whenever your hair gets a certain length where you're like, oh, I can't take it anymore?
The only thing is I just have to wear it up a lot because it's so, there's like just so much of it that it feels like I'm wearing a scarf. So like when I'm like, then I feel like it just is like hot.
I really do wish I had that problem. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's definitely hot. And, you know, I'm a sweaty lady, so it becomes like all weird. But yeah, no, I think that's the way to go. You know, just again, the more I can look like Stevie Nicks,
absolutely.
That's the goal here. You're going for what's her name with the big glasses?
Yes, Iris Apfel.
And I'm going for what's her last name?
Apfel.
Apfel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm going for Stevie Nicks.
Yes.
There we go.
I love this.
Yeah.
We are going to be so hot.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be great.
Well, they did this really cool study on gray hair. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they were trying to fit... There's all these sort of mythology. Like, I think there was this mythology that... Did you ever hear this thing where they said Marie Antoinette's hair turned gray overnight the day before she was to be...
Executed?
I guess she was... executed.
Wow.
But I'm sure that's not the case, but that was, you know, sort of what they said about her. And so they wanted to do a study to see whether gray hair actually could be reversed.
What?
Like if it ever happened that someone started to go gray and then it went back to normal. And they found that there were many cases of this.
Okay, so is this stress related?
Yes.
I knew it. Okay.
Yes.
I love when I'm right
here's
about
what
shit.
it really blew my mind. Okay, so let's say you have a really terrible year, like you're going through a divorce or you lose a child or something like hideous.
Yeah.
Then, okay, I could see that your hair might go gray and then you kind of heal and maybe lessens that problem. But they even measured that the reversal could happen if you take a 2-week vacation.
What?
Like, there's a brief period where your hair goes back to its regular growth when you're relaxed. But then it'll go back to gray when you go back home.
God.
Can you believe?
Okay. You know what? I'm going to have to start watching these things. I'm going to watch it because I feel like I'm getting more and more relaxed and more like centered in my life. And there's so much peace that I'm bringing into my life now. Yes. I just maybe no gray hair forever.
Here's how you could do it.
Wow.
Pluck one out. Like, just,
done.
One. I know that people frown upon that, but just pluck it out and then get out a magnifying glass because a 2 weeks growth is very small. So it'd be hard to see with your eye. And you can look up and down this whole strand and see if there's any brief bits that went back.
Susie, this is so cool. Quick, where's the mirror? I need to pull out hair right now.
So, like, they gave an example of a 30-year-old woman with black hair. She had one strand that contained a white segment that corresponded to 2 months during which she underwent marital separation and relocation. That was her highest stress period in the year, and then went back to her black color. Yeah,
you are blowing my... I love when Susie just blows my mind with shit. Okay, now I gotta find a gray hair. Pull it out, examine it. My hair's wet right now, so I can't tell. Damn it. And I'm looking in my phone mirror, so that really doesn't help.
You can make a TikTok about it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure I will. Oh, my God. You know how I'm obsessed with TikTok now, so.
I do. I know everyone says, like, you have to spend a lot of time on the app, and then the algorithm learns what you like and stuff.
Oh, my God, yeah.
How long does it take? Because
minutes.
Mine is still showing me, like, people saying Biden sucks and don't wear masks.
No, what are you looking at? That's weird. Mine is so perfectly like designed for me.
Tell me
now
how to make that happen.
I think it has to be with what you look at, what you click on, who your followers are. Because I have for a while I was stuck in lesbian TikTok. No, for real. Like all my For You was just lesbian TikTok.
Which is great.
Which I loved. But then I was like, this is just making me mad that I'm not going on any dates. All of these ladies are taken. It's like that. And they're so cute. Oh my God, they're so hot. So yeah, I was in that world for a little bit. And then now I'm in the empath with ADHD who's probably a therapist or a healer in some other way and might be a person of color.
May or may not be.
Yes. Or is a strong ally.
Damn.
Yeah. Or LGBTQIA.
But how do I make this happen? Because if I just go to that page that's like, I don't know, what's
For
the thing
you?
where it just tells
No,
you.
you know what you got to do is you got to go to hashtags that you like. Like, what else? I have a lot of witchy stuff on there because I looked at witch talk and witches of TikTok. Witches of TikTok. Yeah, witch talk.
Stop.
Isn't that great? That's what it's called. That's like what I follow. Witch talk.
God damn it!
It's great.
All right.
So you gotta and I do a lot of like the I tried to even mix more nature in there. It was like, no, girl, you don't want nature. You want stuff about narcissism and EMDR. Trust us.
Well, yeah, because you could have different stuff on Instagram versus TikTok.
Oh, yeah, totally different. Yeah, my Instagram, my TikTok are different for some reason, and but that's fun to see. Like, watch the For You. Somebody said this was on TikTok, and it said if you're on a first date with somebody and you want to know what they're all about, you just ask them to pull up their For You page. And if they're if it's a bunch of, what did they say in the video? If it's a bunch of like boring white girls dancing to TikTok videos or people talking about, the Confederate flag, you run.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to work on this.
Yeah.
I did try to get them to give me like cleaning ones. I like watching people clean.
Yeah. Yep.
So far, no luck. We'll see. I'll keep trying.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
I love it.
Another thing I love is writing, as you guys know, and I'm always cooking up like what my next piece is going to be. And thankfully, there is a wonderful new service called WordTune, and it will help you basically make the perfect sentence. Okay,
Ooh.
I don't want to oversell it here.
WordTune. Tell me more.
WordTune. It's just the first AI-powered online writing tool, but it understands meaning. I mean, since robots are going to take over the world, at least make them useful, right?
Yeah. This is essentially do my homework.
It understands meaning, so it can help you write in a more, just a way that would express your point better, greater clarity, and helps you figure out what the heck you're trying to say, which, frankly, is one of the hardest parts about writing.
Yep.
But it's just advanced language processing technology. And cool. I feel like it is a game changer, and it's very helpful.
Well, probably a time
writing
saver.
really matters. It's a time saver. Good writing can help you succeed at work or in school. So WordTune works anywhere you're working online. Google Docs, Slack, Outlook, web, WhatsApp, wherever.
Oh, wow.
And our listeners can try WordTune for free at wordtune.com/braincandy. If you're away from your computer, go to wordtune.com/braincandy on your mobile phone, enter your email, and they'll send you a link to make it easy to get started. Nice. Get help writing your emails, reports, presentations, resumes, blogs today. Go to wordtune.com/braincandy. I'll tell you what, that'd be great for a resume. Those things suck to write.
Yeah, I can think of 5 million things this is good for.
Right. I like things that make my life easier.
Yeah, I hate that moment when you're sitting there staring at the computer like, okay, I know what I want to say, but like, oh, how do I say this in the right,
Right? There's always like the blinking cursor on the document. Did you read about that guy in Alaska that was terrorized by the bear?
Terrorized? I
feel like that's the word they used.
I feel like was he in the bear space?
He was in a shack. Like, he was in a little cabin.
Oh. And the bear was fucking with him or what?
Like, so bad that he had to be rescued by a helicopter.
No!
Yeah, and he only had, like, 1 round of ammunition left. Because I guess he had a shotgun or whatever the heck people use. I don't know. Yeah. And he didn't have cell service. There's no service. This was a remote place. And he had to go up on the roof and put, like, SOS, help me, and wait it out. He hadn't slept in days because this bear kept coming back and being like ready to roll. Okay. Hey, what's the scoop on?
Yeah. Then I'm like, okay.
Tell me.
Let's break down bears.
Yes, that is what I want you to tell me. Because I know there's a thing you're supposed to do. What do I do when I see a bear?
God, we really need our friends from Malone, don't we? To like clear this out for us.
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I know. You need to. Oh, I don't know if this is bears or if it's for mountain lions. To put the little bells on your. Oh, fuck. But I do know from watching that show 1,000 million times and every season that bears don't attack unless they're hungry.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, so if it's like a climate change if it's problem. A competition for food source, if the bear senses that you're its competition for food, then I think maybe it becomes territorial. But like. Maybe there was no food, and so the bear was just like, yo, dude, I gotta eat you. It's you or me.
Well, that's why, number one, I thought this is another problem with climate change. Like, there's just not enough food for these creatures, and it's so sad. Oh, my God.
Suze, I didn't even think about that. That's an excellent point. Yes, that's it.
Isn't it funny how, like, there's all this stuff now that you would not think automatically this is from climate change, but it is.
It absolutely is. Yeah. And the temperature rising thing, I read somewhere that, I can't remember the exact number, but it was like millions of sea life just boiled and washed up on the shore.
Boiled?
Yeah, like it got too hot and in like lakes and oceans, and there were a whole bunch of marine just like devastation to like the marine life from this heat wave. And then I think about the amount of people and animals that rely on the ocean as their food source. And if the it's so scary. It just I like, I can't. We need to stop everything we're doing.
Do you think it's possible for an animal to be kind of like a sociopath?
I don't know. My dog came pretty close. Not Bo, but my other dog was my friend Allie, shout out to Allie, would always say, you have a terrorist. He's an actual terrorist. Like, he totally, like, holds your like power over you and then, like, threatens you with. He's, like, very terrorizing. So, yeah, I can see that. My dog definitely did that. The dog was
I guess it's called something
dog.
else because, they don't have a conscience, presumably.
Yeah. Well,
and so, the absence of that is true for all animals, but some of them are real assholes.
Yeah.
Like you're saying.
Yeah. But also, we have to wonder, is it play?
Nature and nurture.
Right. Or because I had, I've shared this story on here. My cat that was killed by my next door neighbor's dog. Yeah. And they brought it over in a fucking shoebox. Not cool. Not cool, Steve and Bonnie. You should not have done that. That was very traumatizing.
Stop it.
Yeah. So, they told me that their Dalmatian was playing, and the cat was walking across the fence, and the dog swatted it with his hands and broke its back.
Oh Lord!
Bent the cat in half.
Oh,
the wrong way. The way it doesn't go.
Oh my God! And then it was just instant death.
Yeah, snapped.
I guess that was merciful.
Snapped it, But it was because it was playing. So sometimes they don't know. So was this bear is it it's clearly hungry because that would be the only, And if the bear is starving, yeah, it's gonna. You know what? I mean, I don't even mind that the bear. I'm not.
But do you think it wanted to eat this person or just kill off the competition for food?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Because I don't think they eat us, do they?
I think they do. I think in a situation where, I have so many questions to ask people.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, bears.
Well, I feel bad for everybody involved in this.
Eat people. I'm going to write this down. Will bears eat people if they're? Is it
I'm sure
competition for competition?
I'm sure they would eat a person before they die.
Well, for sure. God, I maybe will eat a person before I die.
I wonder if I...
No, I don't think I would. Would you eat one? Would you... Okay, this is a crazy question. If you're in a life or death situation, you have no food, would you ever go to the extreme of eating yourself? Eating a finger?
Oh, no. Now that is something I can honestly say I never thought of.
I never did either, but I'm just thinking of okay, in an emergency situation, we're kind of thinking would you eat somebody else? Okay, maybe if you're, I think we don't know what our brain would do in a starvation situation.
That's right. Yes.
Something else takes over. So,
yes.
so I wonder if there are people who will cut their own limbs off to escape if they're trapped, like that 27 days guy. Then,
oh my God, was he really trapped for 27 days?
Yep.
What was he eating, Sarah?
Well, not his hand. I don't know. That's a good question. 27 days.
We're doing a lot of Googling today.
Yeah, right? Cut
apologies.
off arm. Wasn't it 27 days?
I don't know that. No, wait, it's 127
hours. Holy shit, that's very different. There's a movie called 28 Days or something like that. It's a zombie movie, or maybe it might be one with Sandra Bullock. I get them confused.
I think that one was about rehab.
Yeah, there's 28 Days about rehab. Then there's 28 Days Later, which is about zombies.
Oh my God.
And then there's 127 Hours, which is that. Okay, got it.
You know what? He was probably hungry, though, to be fair, everyone.
127 hours, but how many days is that?
Well, divided by 24.
Yeah,
You're the math whiz.
I can't do that math in my brain.
I mean, it's less than a week.
Divided by 24. Oh, yeah, 5 days, really. 5.5 days.
Long days.
So, wow, 5 days before you're I'm cutting this shit off. So, how starving would it be to be yeah, I'm probably going to eat that thing. But then you'd have to, cut it off and then eat it. Interesting question.
Oh my God. I really
never know.
feel like we've lost all grip on reality. But
as somebody would if they were forced to eat their own body parts.
I do think the madness of hunger is something we cannot account for. It's sort of like what we talk about, how when they test the challenges, they can't account for the adrenaline and the desire to win on television. And so things go differently than you would predict.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm mad about after reading our book What Happened to You and really understanding the different states of the brain and brain functioning in each of those states, And knowing, I'm going to grab it real quick so I can say the right numbers. It's right here. So, I reference this in maybe every single therapy session that I do. So this page is like very, like it's where the bookmark is.
Yeah, it's ready for you to open it.
It's state-dependent functioning, so the state of our brain and how it functions. And when you're in a calm state, your IQ is between 120 and 100 points. When you are in terror, like feeling like, oh my God, I could die, your IQ is 60 to 80 points.
Yeah, big difference.
Almost cut in half. So for them, that all the times when I'm on the show and we like don't quote unquote figure it out in the way that they like wanted us to, and they're like, oh, you guys did a terrible job, and they always do that. If we don't do it like how they wanted us to do and it doesn't look, they're always like, oh, you guys did terrible on this. We were able to do this, da 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 da. And then I thought about it. I'm like, we couldn't even think in those times. Our brain is in a different place. Oh, we talked about this with the IQ, with the trivia, but what about even when you're just trying to do anything on there?
Well, and that's why I feel like the show advantages sociopaths because they do not have that problem.
I didn't even put that is such a good point too.
Right? Because they don't care.
They don't feel,
and
they
so
don't have the...
they're operating at their optimal level when the rest of us are just like flailing about. Speaking of flailing about, I feel like since we've kind of gone remote and everyone's like working from home and trying to do the virtual thing, a lot of people are feeling, discombobulated. Adam and I have a business, and so we've been working from home for years, but we've always been whiteboard people. Adam loves a whiteboard. And then I found an online version called Miro, and it's whiteboarding, but online. And you can do like digital sticky notes and create a workflow and brainstorm with your team. And you can even have fun and just like draw and do fun stuff with your friends. But there's also so many tools that you can use to help you like work with your colleagues or your employees. And it's so much nicer and keeps you all organized and still inspired, because I feel like sometimes it's hard to get that same connection virtually, but there's these great tools like Miro that you can use to sort of get you on track and get you feeling that synergy, as they say. Miro is creating a revolution in how we create and collaborate, so join the over 20 million users today. You can sign up and use Miro today for free. Go to Miro, that's Miro.com/braincandy to start your free account. Sign up today and take advantage of 3 free whiteboards with this exclusive offer. Go to Miro, Miro.com/braincandy and start using Miro today. There's no reason to delay. You guys are going to love it.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're a person who goes on there and you're like not good at stuff, good. That means you're like a, more well-adjusted human and not like that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, man. Do you think you'd ever go back on there?
No, I do not.
Yeah, not at this point, right? Mm-mm. No.
I do not. I know they say never, but I cannot think of a way that I could be convinced.
No, I don't either. I would convince you to not do it.
I do not think any good would ever come from that.
Right. Yeah, not that show, for sure.
Well, because I just don't... There is no morality in the production of a television show like that. And that's okay. They don't need to have ethics, but I wish they did. Mm-hmm. So as long as they don't, I can't do it.
And maybe the people who are going on, a lot of them, especially the OG ones, they know what they're getting into. They're signing up for it. But I know what I'm getting into, and I'm like, yeah, it's not for me. But...
Well, let me kind of make an analogy. I read this article in Atlantic about why you should quit Twitter. And it was sort of saying how one, like, accidental slip of the thought, slip of the brain, can get you fired or, maybe break up your relationship or a lot of other terrible things. Yeah. Right. And so... going on the challenge to me seems so a similar problem, but like way riskier.
Yeah.
Because they are the ones editing, and they are the ones deciding how to frame the story.
Maybe
I'm
not
leaving
even
my
the right
life
context.
in their hands. At this point, that's way too much risk for me.
Way too much. Yeah, good point. You really are rolling the dice when you do that, something like that.
And like the payoff is not
right
substantial.
Yeah. Sounds like a future TikTok video I need to make.
I know. I keep waiting for that one.
I know. It's on the list. I might do that today. Wait for my hair to dry.
Speaking of TikTok, there was an article about, I think it was on Vox, and it was about the catfishing problem on TikTok where like women influencers are modifying their look so that they look like teenagers, but they're promoting their OnlyFans on it. And so, the people that end up going to your OnlyFans and buying are more likely to be people who are into very, very young girls.
Ew!
So gross.
Ew, ew.
The one that they referenced in the article has 10,000 paid people on OnlyFans, and she does this in all of her videos.
Okay.
Isn't that gross?
I am not okay with that.
Right. Me neither.
I don't like... Ugh. I don't like that. I don't want to tell a woman what she should or shouldn't do, but like... ever tell anybody what they shouldn't do.
Well, whenever the technology for deep fakes came out, it tended to be like, we're going to make like Barack Obama say things he didn't say, or Tom Cruise or whatever. But the real problem is when people do deep fakes of themselves when they're not a public figure, because you don't know the difference between what they actually are,
Just what the implications are, like what that really means,
like
and
10,000
that there are that many people who are interested in this woman more because she looks like a child. Mm-hmm. That does not sit well in my heart.
And they said that there's also a similar problem with like Asian baiting, where people try to look Asian, but then they dress up like super sexualized. God. And so then they're perpetuating all these terrible things that can get Asian folks killed or abused, but they don't have to pay those prices. They're just affecting people they will never meet. You know what I mean?
And you can't like make it illegal. Like it should fall into that category of like, oh God.
But it won't.
I feel like, oh my God, if you're okay, this is it makes me sick to even ask this question. With virtual reality and with computer generated images becoming more and more realistic, is it considered child pornography if you are creating,
like if it's not a real person?
If it's not a real, I say yes.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that's so fucked up, and I think we should definitely somebody watch that. Somebody keep an eye on that, because
it's a good point, because they might argue, well, there's no victim, but that's not true.
There's no victim right now, but you are absolutely oh God, you're feeding a hunger that is so sick.
The thing is, though, all these social media stuff, it's lawless. Like, there's
totally
no way.
Lawless.
It is a runaway train.
Oh my God. See, just blow it up. We don't need that. We just I hate it all. I just let's just take all of Jeff Bezos' money and blow up the internet and I don't know. Oh God.
One thing I do not enjoy, though, there was an article also in the Atlantic about it was by Oliver Sacks, and I really like. He's dead now, but I really like him. And he was sort of lamenting digital culture and the ubiquity of phones. I get it. Yeah. And specifically with parents and how they're always staring at their phones instead of engaging their babies. And Okay, I get what you're saying. But it really, to me, is that there's a new thing that do you remember parents in the 50s? They were never with their kids.
Right.
It was free range.
Totally.
There were no rules. You weren't like hyper engaged. Now this expectation of engagement is so high, it is no wonder people need a break.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that we're doing the job of an entire community. We're expected to do the job of an entire community. That's why I'm telling you, my commune idea, we just need to go back to like living in small groups on farms and shit like that. And like have one person that like handles that, and one person who's like, you know, the medicine man, and one person who's like the wise old sage who like, you know, talks to you about whatever. I don't know. Like just.
To me, it reminds me of like these financial advice articles that say like, just don't buy your coffee today and save it and invest it. Instead of pointing out the systemic inequality of finances and money and wealth and racism and all the reasons why people don't have money to begin with, they're telling you just not to buy your Starbucks. To me, this stupid. Stop staring at your phone thing doesn't acknowledge the loneliness and the lack of community and all of the things that make people go on their phones in the first place.
Yes. That sense of validation, that feeling of connection and togetherness, like, for sure. Because when we can provide that for people, the desire to go on the phone is so less.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because people are seeking connection and meaning, and they don't have it. And so they scroll. And I don't blame them.
Right. I don't either.
We have a systemic problem that needs to be handled.
Everybody's tired, overworked, underpaid, except Jeff Bezos. And
if you met Jeff, what would you say?
I wouldn't say anything. I'd just slap him in the face. No,
really?
He'd probably definitely arrest me for that. I would just look at him in the eyes and say, I'm disappointed in you.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'll say, you may be successful in that way, but you failed as a human.
Wow.
That's what I would tell him. You may have success by your measurements, but you have failed as a human. That's what I would tell him. Period. I think that sounds like a heavy thing. Like, you wouldn't want to hear that, right? I wouldn't.
Do you think anyone says stuff like this to him?
No, because they all fucking kiss his ass. I hope he gives him a big tip.
Yeah.
I hate it. I know because I didn't know guys at that level. Well, obviously, nobody does. But, you know, in the world that my ex-husband used to run in, I fucking went on one of those big old yachts and did that. Like, I saw that. And those guys they're not happy. It's just, I see people who are like, just have everything backwards. And it just feels like we've just gone so far away from what the whole point is.
To life?
Yeah, being a person.
Yeah, maybe Jeff feels fatalistic about it. He's sort of just like anarchic and whatever.
No, he's riding it. It looks like he's so fucking proud of himself.
It really does.
It's like so stupid. That like coming out of that the fucking cowboy hat out of the spaceship. Oh my God. He looked like, you know what he looked like? You know when do you remember when NSYNC did that Space Cowboy song? So that's it. I'm gonna put that song over that. There you go. I got ideas. I'm gonna do my Jeff Bezos hate reel. He's probably listening to me right now. If every one of his products listening to my voice, playing my music, hate it.
I do wonder, because, you know, presumably he has a mom or a sibling or somebody who could say, hey, Jeff.
No.
Baby. Like maybe, you know, let's do some adjusting. Do you think that he is immune to feelings at this point? Like, do you think he ever cries or, like, has guilt?
I was thinking that. I was like, I wonder if, like, it's the time where he's just, like, a big puddle on the floor. Like, I see him, like, crying in his, like, you know, shower that doesn't have a handle. You just swipe your hand in front of it and it automatically opens. And it's, like, super big and steamy. And he's just, like, laying on the floor in a pile in the corner just crying.
Wow.
Because he's going to be lonely. There's no way you're not going to be lonely because everybody is. It's an inauthentic relationships. You can pretend. Oh, I know.
Why do you think they're inauthentic?
I don't see people that he's like, if he's going to be in a relationship with somebody, I just don't get the vibe that he's going to be in love in the same way that, like, what a real, true, like, relationship when two people care about each other and love each other and are willing to, like, I just don't think there's anybody that Jeff Bezos would sacrifice anything for except himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I can see that.
So if you can't be selfless, if you can't be giving, you know, with everything you have to people who really don't need it, you're not going to be giving to, like, your future ex-wife or, you know, next ex-wife.
I just Googled him. I did not know he had 4 kids.
4 kids. Oh, wow. You wouldn't know. Doesn't even talk about them. Doesn't even care about them. Clearly, like, we don't see anything about, like, isn't that weird?
Wow. I can't believe that. I hope they're with Mackenzie.
Were they all with the same woman?
Yeah, he was married to her for like a gazillion years.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe 4, maybe.
I mean, I guess I am assuming, but I think so.
Yeah, I would like to
Jeff.
know. I would like to know a little bit more about what happened in there. What she thinks of him.
Yeah, right. And I love that she's dating a teacher, like a high school
teacher. See, she knows what's up. She gets it.
She
gets it. Yeah. And the women who get it can't be with men like that. They're like, nope. You can offer me all that in the world. It's not. I don't want that. That's not what that's not real love. That's not what I'm looking for. That doesn't feed my soul. I saw a post the other day, and it was like, I can't remember what it said exactly, but it said like something like, what I'm searching for are soulgasms. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we want. Soulgasm. Mm-hmm. Like, where your soul is like, oh my God, I feel fulfilled from this. That is not coming from that relationship, I think. How about how this turned into a Jeff Bezos bashing episode? I love it. It's like my new favorite thing.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to make a spin-off of Brain Candy where it's just like Bezos candy. Yeah. And you're going to just be like, Jeff, seriously.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Get it together. Stop failing as a human. You're letting us all down. You're letting humanity down. Quit it.
Yeah, he probably holds in his farts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or he just lets them out because he doesn't give a fuck. Like, windows rolled up, doesn't even roll them down for people. In the elevator, doesn't care, and then nobody says anything because they don't want to offend Jeff Bezos. Golly.
We learned a lot today. We were reminded about the importance of considering people who are differently abled.
Yes.
We also learned that you might be able to reverse your gray hair.
Oh, I really am curious about that, and I can't wait to look at mine under a microscope. If you guys, like, have the... I don't know how you could do... I want to see pictures of this. I want to see if any of you guys have, like, this going on. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, because they did qualify this good news with saying... Like, not permanently. Like, eventually you're probably going to go gray.
Yeah.
We
heard about some bears. How about that bear?
I mean...
We have so many questions.
You don't want to get on his bad side. Bear side.
His bear side.
We learned how to TikTok. I'm still not sure if I can do it.
We at least we're going to help Susie get her For You page.
I need to... I'm going to work on this.
You know.
Yeah, more accurate.
Yes, more For You.
That is what I want.
Yeah.
But don't forget to check out our merch and join our book club or documentary club. We have lots of fun with our Brainiacs, and we would love for you to join us.
Yes. And just pay what you want. So, like, sliding scale. You just, like, join.
Yeah.
You know? And
we're not trying to Bezos anything over here.
Right. We don't care about that. We just want your company and your connection. And, you know, it's one of those situations where you're going to be like, this is worth every penny. And it's not even that many pennies.
Do you think Bezos is that a Latino name? Like, what is Bezos?
It's with Z. I don't know.
Oh, that means no, right?
Well, because Bezos, like, I have no idea. I have no idea. This is again Sarah saying something that, you know, I don't know fuck all about.
Yeah, I was just curious. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know either.
No further questions about Bezos.
God, he looks like Dr. Evil.
Creep. No, he's from Denmark. His family. Oh, wait. His mother. No, his mother married a Cuban immigrant. Totally different. Mm-hmm. That was, totally different.
Afterwards.
Stepdad.
Yeah. Stepdad. Got it.
All right. We love you guys. We'll see you next time. Wait, I do have one more thing to say.
What?
How somebody wrote to us and asked why we say bye. And I was like, I think we're doing it ironically, but I should check with Sarah.
Yeah, totally. Like, that's not how I say bye.
Just check.
When I'm in real life, I'm like, okay, bye. Bye. When do I? Yeah, that's definitely ironically.
Well, are we kind of making fun of how influencers do that for real, or is this just a general silliness?
General silliness. Okay, there wasn't an intention. I never did it as in like, oh, that's funny how those influencers do it. Let me do that. I didn't even notice that they did that, honestly.
Oh,
and really, it's just like, it's kind of like, that's what you were doing?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Then I'm down with that. Maybe I was just following your lead. And I was like, that sounds fun. Say it like that.
We'll see you next time, people.
Bye.